All right, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is time for Thursday Thoughts number 14. My name is Jason Flame from Moorpark Karate and Krav Maga in Moorpark, California, joined by my guest, Kevin Kowalczik in Littleton, Colorado, representing Revolution Martial Arts. And this show is brought to you and sponsored by Raptor Extreme Karate. So, what's up, everybody? Excited to jump on again today. We took a week off last week. Sometimes happens. Mr. K and I were just talking that October's a busy month. We got so much
Crazy,
stuff going on. It's like it's
crazy.
wild.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for tuning in. We got a couple of people watching so far. We have at least 3 questions that we'll be answering today, and it seems like last week the open Q&A session format everybody seemed to enjoy because we had a lot of engagement last week. Actually, last week's session took us almost like 45 minutes to answer all the questions. So we'll see what we got today. If you are watching live, please drop a comment and drop your question that we can discuss. But the first question, we'll get right into it, from Bill Cormany was,
What's up, Bill?
do you ever have days when you're just not feeling it, and how do you manage that? You want to go first?
I'd love to take that one.
Get it.
Yeah. We all have days where we're not feeling it, right? That's just called life. But for me, those are the days that you have to dig deeper. Those are the days you got to push a little harder and you see what you're really made of. If you got goals and you got things that you want to achieve, whether it's in martial arts and fitness and business and whatever it is, those are the days that you got to push a little harder. But I think those are the days that make it more worth it, right? Like going to the gym, for example. There's days I don't want to go to the gym. There's days I don't want to spar. I don't want to train. There's days where my body's just banged up, especially if I'm in fight camp and I'm getting ready for a fight or something, right? There's days where I'm just like, man, I do not feel it today. But I always get up and I go in anyway, because that's what discipline is. Discipline isn't doing what we want to do or what we feel like doing, right? Discipline is doing the right thing regardless of how you feel. So the days that I have to push myself to go in and do it, are usually my best workouts. I usually leave feeling more proud of myself. I leave feeling more fulfilled. And that's why cultivating that spirit of discipline as a martial artist is important, both on and off the mat. So
Yep.
absolutely. We all have days. I can tell you yesterday was a hard day to go in and teach. We had classes yesterday. We had black belt testing yesterday at our school. It was a busy, busy day at our school. And, on a personal note, the night before, somebody close to me just passed away. So I did not want to go in and teach that day. That's a time I did not want to get up and go, do things. But you got to push yourself to have the discipline to do the right thing anyway, right? So I think we all have those days. Jason, you want to take that one?
Yep. And those of you that are just tuning in, the question was, do you ever have days when you're just not feeling it, and how do you manage that? And yeah, like Kevin said, we all have days like that. Some of us have more days than others that are like that. But for me, in addition to what Mr. K just talked about, as far as discipline goes, for me, there's also the aspect of the expectations and the responsibility of being a leader. As soon as I feel like I don't want to get up, I ask myself, what would I tell my son? When I don't want to go train, what would I tell my wife? If I don't want to go and go to an event after I've already done like 5 events in a day, what would I ask of my team to do? So for me, that expectation, that accountability, really helps to drive me and shores up my discipline. I mean, I know I need to do it, but when I remember the why am I a leader? Because I do things that other people, unsuccessful people wouldn't do.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely I feel it. And Bill, since you asked the question, I mean, sometimes we're beat up, we're sore, don't want to train anyway. We're stressed out, don't want to train anyway, right?
Yeah.
Got a lot going on at home with family, kids, spouse, work, stressed out, don't want to train anyway. Because, like Kevin said, sometimes those are the best
Yeah.
workouts. Is you leave feeling relieved of a lot of that pressure and stress. I mean, our workouts and our training are what helps keep our stress at bay. It's what helps us stay healthy and prevents us from getting sick. So, so much goes into that. So,
I got a
absolutely
question.
100%.
I got a
Go ahead.
question here for you. Question for you, sir. is how do you as a martial artist continue to challenge yourself? That's a good one because you've been training for a long time.
Yes, sir.
How many
Yeah,
years?
so I started training in 1985. I earned my
Ooh,
black belt in 1991.
nice.
And how do I keep challenging myself? Um, I keep doing things that I try to do different things. You know, it's funny because I talk to my black belts about this a lot. When I earned my first degree black belt, you know, my sole focus was Tong Sudo and learning all the forms and learning the curriculum. You know, getting my black belt. Between first degree and second degree, I kind of put more of a focus on becoming a better fighter, and I started competing a lot more, and I lost a lot, and I wanted to win, so I knew I had to train harder. Between second degree and third degree, I worked on my black belt in Ketsugo Jiu Jitsu, and that had been a long time running actually. Um, when I got to fourth degree, believe it or not, you know, XMA was real big at the time, and I had just met Mike Chat, and he came out to the school. So believe it or not,
Legend.
Master
Legend.
Flame was doing some XMA, and then you know, it just seemed fifth degree, you know, started going back to more MMA training. It started incorporating Krav Maga. So I just always kept learning something new. Right now, I'm really interested in having fun working on Filipino martial arts with my friend Brian Fujitani.
Oh,
So
solid.
there's
Yeah.
always something. Listen, I don't care how much you know. I don't care how much you think you know. You don't know it all, right? And
So
you know
true.
what else is something that you know, when I was younger, I don't think that I thought about this a lot, and I probably had a much bigger ego. I think we all have a pretty big ego as martial artists anyway, but I can learn, and I do learn from my little dragons and my white belts and my brand new adults, people that have never done. I learn so much from them that they don't even know that they're teaching me, and I think it's because I'm looking to learn, right? And it's just that
Having a
hunger
learner's
to be better.
mindset. Yeah, it's having a learner's mindset, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think completely spot on. Having that learner's mindset, always knowing that there's always more that you can learn. There's always more you can grow and improve in. What's really cool, I know with our school and your school too, is martial arts schools have diversified now. You know, a long time ago, it used to be you were just a Tang Sudo school, or you were just a Taekwondo school, or you were just a Jiu-Jitsu school. Like
Right.
we at our school, we do Tang Sudo, we do extreme martial arts, we do Muay Thai, we do Kali, we do Jiu-Jitsu, we do like a mix of things. So we give people different avenues to learn and challenge themselves. So yeah, I think keep learning and keep challenging yourself. Learn as much as you can. It's really
Hmm.
good.
Yeah.
Anybody
Well,
else
here.
have questions? Write them in. Let's hear it.
Yeah, a couple people watching, a couple more just jumped on. If you guys are watching this, any question is on the table, so throw it in the comments. Make sure to let us know who you are and where you're from, whether you're watching from Colorado, from Mr. K's school, or you're watching from here in Moorpark from my school, or hey, if you just found this video and you're like, I don't even know what this is, ask us a question, and we'll chit chat about it for a minute. But I'll give you a question, Mr. K. Um, as most people have seen you on Instagram and Facebook, and you know, you're a pretty in shape dude. I mean, like ripped beyond belief. How do you keep yourself? Because this is not like all of a sudden. This is like your lifestyle. How
Yep.
do you maintain that? You know, just staying in such great shape. Is it your diet? Is it your workout? Is it a combination of the two?
Yeah. Well, thank you, sir, first of all, for that. I appreciate that. But yeah, it is. It's again, it goes back to discipline, right? It goes back to, having goals and setting standards for yourself. I think a lot of people don't have enough self-love. I think a lot of people are hard on themselves. They're harsh to themselves. And they don't set their own standard. They don't hold themselves to a high enough standard. Again, there's times where you don't want to work out. There's times where you don't want to go to the gym. There's times where you're not going to feel like doing it. But if you value yourself enough, you hold yourself to that high standard and you push yourself and you challenge yourself, right? So yeah, I train every day. I did about an hour and a half today of strength and conditioning. I hit a yoga class. I'm trying to do that now, like once a week, just for flexibility and things like that. And then I'll go in, I'll teach 4 or 5 hours tonight. So I'm always surrounding myself around people that have the same kind of mindset. I try to put myself around people that are also goal driven and focused and want to take care of their health and their fitness. And then I just
Hmm.
have to remember to hold myself to that standard and have discipline. Are there times that you can slack a little bit? Yeah. I mean, life's got to have some balance, right? For sure. But the problem is when 80% of it is out of whack, right? When you're usually
Hmm.
eating garbage and you're not exercising, you're not taking care of yourself physically and mentally, like that will take a toll on you. So, that would be my answer is having the discipline. It's okay to have a little bit of balance. It's okay to have some ice cream once in a while, right? Especially if it's coaches. Coaches has the
That's
best ice
right.
cream.
That's right.
But little plug there. But yeah, you got to have discipline, man, and you got to hold yourself to a high standard. You got to have values in yourself and believe in yourself.
All right. Well, here's a question. Janet Krasno is asking, what would you say to a 9-year-old who doesn't quite understand the concept of showmanship? This is a perfect question for you, Mr. K.
Love it. Yes. Awesome. Okay. So what I tell my students is, especially if they're doing like a demo or even just practicing in class, it could be a tournament. They're getting ready to go out and compete at a tournament, or it could just be in class, right? I want them to transform their mind and almost become like an actor, right? So what I tell the students, what I want you to do is not just do the form. I want you to perform the form. See, what's a form supposed to be? It's supposed to look like a fight scene, right? So I tell the students, pretend you're not on the mat. Put yourself in a different mindset. Pretend you're surrounded by bad guys and you're looking around. All these bad guys are getting ready to attack you. What do you feel? Like, what kind of emotions do you feel? And I'll ask the kids, and they'll say nervous or scared or I feel like I have energy and I'm going to take on all these bad guys, right? So I say, take that emotion that you're feeling and put it into your punches, put it into your facial expressions, put it into your
Hmm.
energy. So you might be striking, bang, bang. Oh, you look over, there's another bad guy, ba, ba, right? And if they start to visualize these bad guys and these attackers, they start to have more of a showmanship performance, right? When they practice, right? And that should be in your forms, in your sparring. Like we had black belt sparring the other day, and it was just cool to see the mindset of some of the guys where one kid would put a mean face on and bang his gloves together, and he'd come running in the ring and ready to spar. Like they transform. You have to put yourself in a different mindset. So as
Hmm.
far as a 9-year-old, the question was not understanding the concept of showmanship. Tell them to pretend like you're an actor. Pretend
Hmm.
like you're performing, right? And these are bad guys that are surrounding you, and you're out there and you're defending yourself. What kind of emotions do you feel? And show that when you're doing your karate. I think that
Hmm.
will drastically help take them to the next level.
I love it. And, the only thing I would add to that is, watch people that are good at showmanship, YouTube, you know, go YouTube. Well, first of all, we have Mr. K, we got Mr. Haw, we got, even if you watch Mason fight, he's not a forms guy really, but when you watch him fight, you're like, okay, there's a little bit of showmanship there, right? And watch people that have that edge. I think that is super helpful. Master Grimes here, Master Sahan, a lot of our black belts here at our school and at your school as well. If they wanted to YouTube a couple really good performers, who would you have them look up?
Ooh, if we're gonna go back to like legends, I would say look up Mike Chat. Mike Chat's a good one. John Valera, amazing, talented martial artist. More current or a little bit past that time era. Next generation, you got to look at Caitlin Deschelle. For females, I mean, Caitlin Deschelle is one of the most amazing, talented female martial artists I think of the generation. You got to look at guys like Matt Emig. Matt Emig was amazing. Steve Tirada, Steve Tirada was another amazing martial artist. And now it just keeps evolving. There's so many more martial artists now
Hmm.
that are current. Anybody from Team Revolution, I would say. Team Revolution has a stacked team. We've got some of the best martial arts competitors out there right now in forms, weapons, and fighting that are currently competing on the circuit and in all ages, too. You got the little guys competing, in the 8, 9, 10-year-olds, all the way up to the adults and the seniors division. But there's so many amazing, talented martial artists out there now
Hmm.
that really have showmanship and perform. It's
Yep.
cool.
And what I love about showmanship is that it brings out a level of confidence. It brings out that level of intensity, because you look at anybody that competes on a very high level, and then you talk to them after they perform or after they're done competing, and they still maintain this posture and the way they talk and they look at you. Again, going back to Mike Chat, I mean, he is always in my mind a performer when he talks because he's animated, his face is excited, his eyes are wide, he's looking at you intensely. Um, and that draws people into you. So someone that's really good at showmanship is going to do well in school because they can get up and
Yes.
on a dime just speak to the class or speak to an adult. Kids are able to speak to adults that are good performers. When they play baseball or soccer or basketball, they understand that that intensity level, and that we got to put ourselves into that mindset, like you were talking about. Almost imagine being a superhero yourself. So instead of being Ethan, he's Super Ethan, right? He's the incredible Ethan.
Right.
You know He's got an alter ego, because I know when I perform, the Master Flame character in the ring was still me, but like times 100. When
Yeah,
you
exactly.
perform, it's Master K at level 100,
Yeah, and that's
right?
going to help them when they get older with job interviews and anything they do, right?
Yep,
So
absolutely.
awesome. Any more
Cool. That was a great
questions?
question.
Yeah, any more questions? Throw them down there. We got a few more minutes.
Yep. So we got, looks like a couple people still watching live. And if you're watching this later on a replay, you just catch it later, and you have a question, drop it in the comments. We will see it, and we will make sure that we add it to the next time we do this video, and we'll be able to talk about it. So we mentioned Raptor Extreme Karate early on in the opening, and how that's become just a very big part of our school. It's you know it was developed by you and through your training of your students, and it's part of your curriculum that you use every day. Explain the purpose behind Raptor Extreme Karate, and why students should participate, or if you're a school owner, why you should involve this in your school.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everything evolves, the martial arts evolves, and kids are watching things like Cobra Kai, and they're seeing all the cool. They're seeing sport karate now, and they don't even realize they're seeing it. They're seeing some of the extreme stuff with weapons and the jump kicks and 540s and all these different things, right? And then they go into most traditional martial arts schools and they sit in horse stance and do punches, and it's very boring, you know. And then school owners, we wonder why we're not keeping kids retained for longer, why they're not staying engaged and things like that. So we've created a program that anybody can do. You don't have to be able to do an aerial or a backflip or a 540. There's a program that anyone, literally anyone, can do, all ages, all ability levels. And it teaches them the new version of sport karate. It's taking the basic traditional fundamentals of martial arts, but to the next level. And we have forms, weapons, and fighting curriculum that is going through the roof. Students that are using it are super pumped and jazzed. School owners are seeing higher retention levels. Their students are pumped up. They're creating better quality martial artists. It's a really great thing. And the more and more people are finding out about it, the more it's growing. So it's really cool to see where Raptor is going to be in the next year from now.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. We've already broken into several schools across the United States. We're also international in Guatemala, and
Mexico,
also in Mexico.
for sure.
So it's really spreading out, and for our students here, it's part of our curriculum. Our elite training program focuses on this month, or this cycle, we're working on commas. So every bit of that curriculum that we're working on commas comes directly from the Raptor Extreme program. On Saturday, we have our Raptor Extreme training, which again is open to all students in the elite training program. Most of our students on our demo team already have the app, so they're accessing the information on their own, or they're accessing the information through our instructors that are teaching it in those classes during the week. So I encourage you guys to learn more about it. Check it out. It is definitely a lot of fun, super exciting. And just a reminder that we at our school have 3 tournaments coming up just in the next 3 weeks. October 15th here at our school, we're having a traditional forms division, we're having a weapons division, and we're having an extreme musical / showmanship
Elite.
division. So you can
Awesome.
participate in one or all 3 events. Next Saturday, October 22nd, we got Jacob Flames Tongsudo University. They're going to have the whole gambit of forms, sparring, foot sweeping, grappling, the whole bit, every division, so you can register with them. And then on October 29th, we have the grappling tournament at Chatsworth Karate. So only grappling divisions, gi and no gi, I believe. So check out information on our Facebook page. Any tournaments coming your way for your schools?
We do. We have coming up here, we got the Diamond Nationals in just 2 weeks, 2 short weeks out in Minnesota. Our national team, sponsored by Century, will be out there competing, which is really, really cool. Go Team Revolution. Can't wait to see that. We've got some people that are flying out literally right now to Ireland for the WKC World Championship, which is really cool. And the same weekend as Diamond Nationals, we also have a local state tournament for some of our underbelts and our up and coming competitors. So I would say, hey, if you're a martial arts school owner or a student, challenge yourself. Challenge yourself by getting out there and competing. It's good for you. Or at least at the bare minimum, challenge yourself by getting into some of those extra classes, those different classes like the Raptor class, or learning something new, or challenging yourself, because it can get a little boring, it can get a little stale sometimes, and you got to mix it up, right? So if you're not challenging yourself, start challenging yourself. That'd be my advice to everybody watching.
I love it. All right, cool. Well, guys, for those of you that watched here live today, thanks for tuning in and watching. Once again, if you watch the replay and you want to just drop a question or a comment for us, we'll add that to the next show. And as we exit, I'm going to play a little video so you guys can see a little bit more about Raptor Extreme Karate.